In this video, we're going to be finding out what is in this box. Shit. Went a bit too far there. Wasn't supposed to put too much power into it. Anyway, let's crack open this box, see what's in there. Let's have a look what we're going to be doing today on this van build. Yep, you've guessed it. In this video, we're going to be attempting to fit a reversing camera. Let's see how we get on with this. Reversing cameras. There is that many on the bloody market today. Which is a good one? Pretty much one I think that could be a direct replacement to your additional high-level brake light. Where I got this camera from though? This company. Even came with personal message. RevCam UK. RevCam UK, they pretty much do reversing cameras for every model. I'll leave a link in the description to their website, especially for those of you that are in the process of doing a build and you feel a reversing camera will be beneficial to you. Without further ado, let's have a look at what we've got in the box and let's get it installed. Before we have a quick look at what was in the box, I just want to give a big shout out to Martin from RevCam UK. He pretty much set the record straight for me, told me what I needed, and I told him what I was doing, and he pretty much said the screen monitor that goes in the front, he said there's 3 different mounts, which one have you got? And I was a bit, what have I got? So I sent him a quick picture, and this is what I had. So I've got this little V-shaped bracket there where the interior mirror will normally hang. Straight away, he knew exactly which part I wanted. So the kit he has sent me is this one. So it's the V-shaped bracket for your monitor. In the kit you also get your high-level brake light. I believe these rings here are infrared, so for when you're trying to reverse in the dark or whatnot, it's going to give you some good visibility. Comes with all the wiring in there as well. Comes with your nice, good-sized monitor with all the wiring indeed. Even a remote control, which I'll have to try and figure out what that's for. And again, comes with all the wiring that you need to route that from back to front. Let me try and have a figure out how we do this. And let's get this bloody install sorted, finished, and let's see the end product of it working. Fingers crossed. Right, there we go. Just managed to get the third, well, a lot of people call them a high-level brake light. I always call them a third brake light because they're an optional. But obviously they do come as standard. Let's have a look, see how this high-level brake light and this reverse camera sort of fit together. According to the instructions, these are going to have to be removed. You can just see them, these things here. There's one this side, and there's one that side. Let's get them removed, and then let's see if we can fit these spacer brackets for this reverse camera to fit onto. Right, that's loose. Let's do the next. So now that's done, let's read the instructions and go from there. So it pretty much says on here, LEDs only work in one direction. So basically the multi-plug for the original brake light, that won't fit this new reversing camera, so there is a bit of wiring involved. And the kit comes with a red and a black wire. And pretty much it states here that wire colours may vary, but we most commonly expect to see a black wire for earth, which will go to our camera's black wire, and a white and yellow wire for 12 volts. So we need to check if we've got those coloured wires. Okay, you guys might not be able to see, but yeah, we've got a black wire there, and we've got a yellow wire with a white trace. That's good then. No need to fanny around finding out which ones are positive and which ones are negative. Right, let's try and get this installed, and then I'll do a little bit of wiring. Well, that was quite a simple, easy process to begin with. Yeah, so once you've took those little lugs out that I showed you that were in the panel here, it's just a bolt and a wing nut, a bolt washer and a wing nut rather. I'll show you quick. So you can see the wing nut just here, and then there's one on the opposing side just there. Route your wires through. So I've routed through the main manufacturer's wiring, which I've got to wire up to this. And then also this must be your transmission feed for your reverse image going through to your monitor. So I'm just going to get these wired up, make sure the brake light side of things work, and then yeah, we can start routing some more cable. Why can you never get a bloody tripod to stay in place? I swear you won't. Oh. God. Oh, I'll tell you what, guys, I hope you appreciate me filming this clusterfuck. Snip some wires. Better do the earth first, even though the system is dead. So at the moment I've just done a temporary repair and I'm ready to check the brake light. So what I've actually done is used my telescopic tarp pole. Zoom! Straight to the brake light. Just gonna have a look if it's working. There's one brake light on, two brake light on. Ah, yes. Right, so now that's working, I can do a proper repair, get all the cables neatly put away up in the gutter just up here. Let's move on with the next. So as you can see, all I did here was just a temporary repair. Yeah, they'd be fine to use. But as it's me, I prefer using these. These are called Duraseals, and what you do is you put the wire in each end, you crimp it, so the bit in the middle here you can crimp, and then you just get the heat gun on it, and all this plastic here melts around it and makes it a watertight seal. Right, so I've got the one already on, and I'll show you a close-up in a minute, but that's all heat shrunk around it, and it does make it a watertight seal. So now I've done the first one I did was the live. I always do live first and then do earth last. So let's get this one done. You beauty. Da, 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 da. Yes, boys and girls, that is tight. And then you just use a heat gun and shrink it. Some people use a gas lighter, like a little cigarette lighter, to burn them and shrink them, which is absolutely fine. 9 times out of 10 though, unless you clean it off, it does leave that black sooty residue. But because I've got a heat gun, I use that, and here's the finished product. So you can see it is all shrunk, and it's all shrunk to the cable. Right, so now we've fitted the wiring. So we take the wiring up together, and we've just fitted it into this little channel. We've got this little wire here now popping down, and that is what links up with this big wire, which is going to be ran all across the side of the van. So let's get this routed. Let's find out where we're going to have the monitor and route wires accordingly. Right, it's starting to look a little bit like Beirut in here, but we just had a look at the instructions. We've routed all the wiring, so the bit that you last saw me do up here, we've routed all the wiring up along, and I'll just show you where we've brought it out. So the wire comes through here, down there, and you can see it's just coming out here now, so we can feed it through here. So we've got to drop this down in a bit. But what I wanted to just do quick was give a dry run whilst everything's in situ, just to make sure everything's working. Just to give you an idea of what I've done then, I've got the new Allpowers here at the moment, which you guys will see in some future videos, but I've just temporarily wired it up to a cigarette lighter socket I've got, and I just want to see now if the screen comes on. So I've got all the other bits and bobs here. I guess this is a little bit for the remote control. Not really sure what that green wire is, although it says back on there, so I'll leave that because I'm following the instructions, which are pretty straightforward. But let's have a flick and let's see what happens. So luckily we've had the Allpowers. Oh, DC. Ah, there we go, it's working. Yeah, right, so that's good. All I need to do now is find a live and an earth. Although Martin was a pretty decent guy actually, and he sent me this the fused bit. Now I'm going to see if it's easier to wire up to the interior light than faffing around finding fuse box. Saying that, I probably will go and have a look at the fuse box actually, just to see if there is a spare fuse in there where I can get power from. But yeah, chuffed to hell it's working anyway, so I've done something right. And just to give you guys an idea, as it says in the instructions, the first thing you should really do before routing and pretty much installing everything is to ensure that you test in situ the monitor and the camera itself. Obviously you're going to have to do a bit of wiring to begin with, for the i.e. make sure the brake light works as well, but pretty much ensure that you're testing the monitor and also testing the camera itself. And this is where this little beauty came in handy, the Allpowers 600. It is new, it's their new one on the market. It's got pretty much the same features, And you know what? I say this about some of the other power banks I've got. This is one thing I love about the Allpowers brand. This right here. The wireless charging dock on the top. So, unlike some of your other portable power station companies, Allpowers actually make use of the top of it, so you can have an extra charger on the top, which is wireless. It's great. No need for cables or anything. Comes with your standard 2 3-pin outlets as well. And do you know what? It is only a 300 watt hour, but this goes up to 600 watts, so it will power my kettle. And do you know what as well? It surges up to 1200 watts for a 300 watt hour unit. That is just incredible. They've got your light, which is still bloody bright. 2 fast charging Type C's and 2 USBs as well. Also, they have your cigarette lighter socket, and more than anything, they've actually got solar panels that are adaptable for this. So I've had the solar panels in the garden recently because of the good weather that we've had, just to charge it up. Save using that electric, guys. Featured on the side, you've got your standard 3-pin kettle lead, which is your mains charger. And also you've got your port there for your solar panels, and they also have a little reset button as well there. And whilst I'm suffering from the humidity and the heat in this van at the moment, whilst you guys are probably nice and chilled evening time, I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can go and check this out. And also, they're offering a discount for you guys as well. All the info will be in the description. Go and check them out. Allpowers. I've done plenty of product reviews from before, and actually, I do love their products. Right, so pretty much what we've decided to do now, where the wire comes through here, we're going to send it through the roof lining into the cab. The first thing we've got to do though is just take this trim off, so I'm just using my trusty snap-on trim toolkit. And then what we're going to try and do is feed the wires through to come down through the interior light, and then we might try and pick up, I'm not saying it's going to work yet, but a light, it's going to have a live and an earth, isn't it? Right, I've had a different change of heart. It's actually a far lot easier to insert one of those that comes with the kit. I'll show you quick, come here. In here, it's the mini fuse type, but there is a spare fuse right there. And just looking at the fuse location diagram, it doesn't appear to be anything for that one. So, what I've decided to do is use that, and I have just trial runned it quick. So that will sit in there, and then on the cable itself as well, you've got an earth eyelet, so I'm just going to have to find somewhere for that to go. I have temporarily tested it just on there and it worked perfect. So instead of using the interior light as a live and an earth, I've decided to actually use the fuse location that's spare. That's what it looks like up there. We've just routed all the wiring just behind the top here, and the bit that's had to come down from by the A-pillar, we've just routed it neatly all in the little clips here. So it's coming on. Once I've got it installed and finished, I will bring you back to have a look, and I will run through everything that I have done. Right, I've put the trim back on. So it's gone into here. I've tucked all the wires in just down there. They're all taped and cable tied. There is a bolt which you might be able to see just there. On the back of that, it's actually metal. So I used the file, just chiseled a bit of the paint away so there's a good known contact, or a good clean contact, and use the earth onto that. So what we're going to do now is just see if it works. Right, moment of truth. Oh, it beeped. Yes, I'll take that. You can see the brightness. You can change that if you press mode again. You can change contrast. There's colour. What's that like when you shove it right up? Yeah, it goes a bit weird. Keep it halfway. Yeah, there's loads of stuff we can do with it now. So you can actually change your aspect ratio as well. So that's 4.3. That's 16:9, which I'm gonna keep on that. Yeah, 16:9 is better. And then there's loads of other stuff. I'm gonna have to have a read up on this, and I'll come back to you in a future video. Grid lines, keep them on. I think they're always handy. So there we go. I'm absolutely chuffed with that. I've just got to build everything else back up here, and I'll show you what I do with the rest of the wiring as well, which is going to be just tucked away in the gullies and the voids just at the top of the van, but we'll space it out as well. But I'll just mention this quick, guys, as well. So that's the interior mirror holder. that was there, and the bracket that he's given me, Martin given me, was the V shape. So yeah, it just literally just slides on and just locks into place, and that's what it looks like from the driver's view. So just for reference for you guys then, the excess cable that I had dangling down here, I've actually just looped it up and it's tucked nicely. It's not trapped, look, you see it's all loose just up in there anyway. So that's where I've tucked it, that's where I came through, and it comes all along this void up the top here into there. So that I am chuffed with.